I'm waiting for the program to appear on YouTube so I can paste it into a post on Blue Sky. Stand by. There it is. And that verifies that it's going out. Yay! Good for me. Hello, everyone. I don't know exactly how we're going to get through the next few years of genuine terror. I say that as somebody who's in very little danger compared to many other people. It's a lot to be worried about. As I was walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. I've roamed and rambled and I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond deserts. And all around me a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. When the sun came shining and I was strolling and the wheat fields waving and the dust clouds rolling, as the fog was lifting, a voice was chanting, this land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forests to the Gulf Stream water, this land was made for you and me. As I went walking, I saw a sign there, and on the sign it said, no trespassing. But on the other side, it didn't say nothing. Well, that side was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. So it's another one of those days. I got a nice big heap of requests, and I'm going to try and do them all. It changes the nature of the performance for me, because otherwise I'd have to sit here and just see what comes naturally, or think of some flow of things myself. But it's nice to have other people's ideas and figure out a way to string them together. So I'll be bouncing back and forth. That was Annie Paisley's idea, by the way. I got Jill and Jesse here with stuff they want to hear. I'm going to play an old song. I started playing the guitar in 1969, writing my own songs and learning stuff. The Bob Dylan songbook was one of the first ones I ever had, and one of my first singer-songwriter heroes was Cat Stevens. And I played this song. I started playing in coffee houses and wine and cheese places in San Jose, California in 1971 or so. And I played this. This was like one of my big numbers. It's not time to make a change. Just sit down, take it easy. You're still young, that's your fault. There's so much you have to know. Find a girl, settle down. If you want, you can marry. Look at me, I am old, but I'm happy. I was once like you are now, and I know that it's not easy to be calm when you found something going on. Take your time, think a lot, but think of everything you've got. You will still be here tomorrow, but your dreams may not. How can I try to explain? 'Cause when I do, he turns away again. It's always been the same old story. From the moment I could talk, I was ordered to listen. Now there's a way, and I know that I have to go away. I know I have to go. It's not time to make a change. Just relax, take it easy. You're still young, that's your fault. There's so much you have to go through. Find a girl, settle down. If you want, you can marry. Look at me, I am old, but I'm happy. peace. All the times that I've cried, keeping all the things I knew inside. It's hard, but it's harder to ignore it. If they were right, I'd agree. But it's them, they know, not me. Now there's a way, and I know that I have to go away. I know I have to go. I'm sure I said something about this the last time I played this song, but it's just so striking to be 71 years old in 2025 singing that song that I sang when I was 19 in the 1970s. Jesus, that was a long time ago. Anyway, also by request. It's been really interesting to see the spotlight on Bob Dylan again in light of that excellent movie, or the movie that I liked a lot. A lot of people agree that it's pretty good. Anyway, it's a Bob Dylan song. Certainly looms large in my legend. Ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe. Don't matter anyhow. And it ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe, if you don't know by now. When the rooster crows at the break of dawn, look out your window and I'll be gone. You're the reason I'm traveling on. But don't think twice, it's alright. Well, it ain't no use in turning on your light, babe. That light I never know. Said it ain't no use in turning on your light, baby. I'm on the dark side of the road. Still I wish there was something you could do or say to try to make me change my mind and stay. We never did too much talking anyway. Don't think twice, it's alright. But ain't no use in calling out my name, gal, like you never did before. Said it ain't no use in calling out my name, gal. I can't hear you anymore. I'm thinking and wondering all the way down the road. I once loved a woman, a child I'm told. I gave her my she wanted my soul. But don't think twice, it's alright. Going down this road feeling bad now, where I'm bound, I can't tell. Goodbye is too good a word, gal, so I'll just say fairly well. Thanks, you treated me unkind. You could have done better, but I don't mind. You just kind of wasted my precious time. Don't think twice, it's alright. Don't think twice, it's alright. Don't think twice, it's alright. There's gardening going on next door. I heard some horrible buzzsaw sound, and it's probably a leaf blower or a wood chipper or something. Anyway, it's all is well. That was another one, though. Thinking about that, I was just I would close my eyes and remember being on stage at the Garret in the Prune Yard Shopping Center in San Jose, California, circa 1972, singing that same song at the beginning of a life that got me here, where I'm 30 years into a blissful marriage that I could never have envisioned when I was that guy. All right, working on the requests here. Standing on the moon, I got no cobweb on my shoe. Standing on the moon, I'm feeling so alone and blue. I see the Gulf of Mexico as tiny as a tear. Oh, the coast of California must be somewhere over here, over here. Standing on the moon, I see the battle rage below. Standing on the moon, I see the soldiers come and go. There's a metal flag beside me, someone planted long ago. Oh, glory standing stiffly, crimson, white, and indigo. Oh, glory standing stiffly, crimson, white, and indigo. Indigo. I see all of Southeast Asia. I can see El Salvador. I hear the cries of children and the other songs of war. It's like a mighty melody that rings down from the sky. Standing here upon the moon, I watch it all roll by, all roll by, all roll by, all roll by. Standing on the moon, I see a shadow on the sun. Standing on the moon, the stars go fading one by one. I hear a cry of victory, another of defeat. There's a scrap of age-old lullaby down some forgotten stream. Standing on the moon, where talk is cheap and vision true. Standing on the moon, but I would rather be with you. Somewhere in San Francisco, on a back porch in July, just looking up to heaven at this crescent in the sky, in the sky. Standing on the moon with nothing left to do. It's a lovely view of heaven, but I'd rather be with you. A lovely view of heaven, but I'd rather be with you. 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 Rather be with you. I'd rather be with you. I'd rather be with you. Also by request. I don't know why I'm feeling so nostalgic right now talking a story like this, but I first heard Rubin and Cherise. I got a job, or my employer, I worked for the Bass computer ticket agency here in the Bay Area in the 1970s. The last actual job with hours and a paycheck that I ever had was at that place in 1976. And I was working in, I was in Houston managing the computer down at this ticket agency down there, and while they recruited a permanent manager that I could train. And so I got to hear a lot of music and go to shows. I saw David Bowie at the, what's the name of that place? I forget the name of the venue, but saw David Bowie's, was fabulous, Thin White Duke tour. But I remember getting a cassette of Cats Under the Stars. And I think it came out in early of 1978. So I must have had a cassette of Cats Under the Stars, and I remember driving up to Austin to meet a friend and listening to this. But I never learned the song until a few years ago. I just listened to it. Cherise was brushing her long hair gently down. It was the afternoon of carnival, as she brushes it gently down. Rubin was strumming his painted mandolin. Do that again. Cherise was dressing his pirouette in white when a fatal vision gripped her tight. Cherise, beware tonight. Rubin, Rubin, tell me truly true. I feel afraid and I don't know why I do. Is there another girl for you? If you could see in my heart, you would know it's true. There's none, Cherise, except for you. Except for you. Swear to it on my very soul, if my life may fall down cold. his painted mandolin. The breeze would pause to listen in before going its way again. Masquerade began, but nightfall finally wore. Like waves against the bandstand, dancers broke to the painted mandolin. Looking out on the crowd who was standing there, sweet Ruby glared at Rubin, stared at Rubin, stared. She was dressed as pirouette in red, and her hair hung gently down. The crowd pressed round, Ruby stood as though alone. Rubin's song took on a different tone, and he played it just for her. The song that he played was the Carnival Parade. Each note cut a thread of Cherise's fate. It cut through like a blade. Ruby was playing the painted mandolin when Ruby froze and turned to stone, for the strings played all alone. The voice of Cherise from the face on the mandolin, singing, Rubin, Rubin, tell me true, for I have no one but you. If you could see in my heart, you would know it's true. There's none, Cherise, except for you, except for you. Swear to it on my very soul, if I lie, may I fall down cold. The truth of love, an unsung song must tell. The course of love must follow blind, without a look behind. Rubin walked the streets of New Orleans till dawn, the ghost of Cherise in his empty arms, and her hair hung gently down, and her hair hung gently down, and her hair hung gently down. Well, my car's gassed up and I'm ready to roll. I got one eye open for the highway patrol. The other eye's open for that freeway sign. 300 miles and I'm making good time. Well, my stomach's growling, but my head's been fed. I'm going down to Eugene to see the Grateful Dead. Down to Eugene to see the Grateful Dead. The tape deck's cranking out a rattling sound in a sympathetic rhythm to the wheel go round. Sport Utes eating me up alive. This thing don't do more than 55. But I could sleep in the back, it's a roadside bed. I'm going down to Eugene to see the Grateful Dead. Down to Eugene to see the Grateful Dead. Well, everybody needs a little break sometimes. Life gets too precise. Put a little slack in that old straight line to take some weird advice. Pulling into town, I'm all eyes and ears. Look at all these friends I ain't seen all year. Shipped out hippies, rag and bone, young.com, tie-dye cellular phone. Delia D-Line and Tennessee Jet are going down to Eugene to see the Grateful Dead. Down to Eugene to see the Grateful Dead. Going through the parking lot, I might get lost. Best place in the world to get your wires crossed. Reality shatters when you leap and shout. Some people go in and they never come out. No, I ain't been the same since my sanity fled. I'm going down to Eugene to see the Grateful Dead. Down to Eugene to see the Grateful Dead. Well, everybody needs a little break sometimes. Life gets too precise. Put a little slack in that old straight line and take some weird advice. Well, my car's gassed up and I'm ready to roll. I got one eye open for the highway patrol. The other eye's open for that freeway sign. 600 miles and I'm making good time. My stomach's growling but my head's been fed. I'm going down to Eugene to see the Grateful Dead. Said my stomach's growling but my head's been fed. I'm going on to the creek to see the Grateful Dead. Out to Deer Creek to see the Grateful Dead. To Buckeye Lake to see the Grateful Dead. To RFK to see the Grateful Dead. To MSG to see the Grateful Dead. Fillmore East to see the Grateful Dead. Fillmore West to see the Grateful Dead. Acid test to see the Grateful Dead. Still working on requests here. I might have played one thing that wasn't somebody's request here, but it's an interesting list. This is not one of mine. This is one of the greatest songs ever written, in my humble opinion. It's by Townes Van Zandt. And I first heard it probably in the late 70s. It was a woman named J.C. had it before any of it. I heard it on anybody's record. But it got covered by Emmylou Harris and the Highwaymen and Willie Nelson on his own and all kinds of different people. Just love this song. Living on the road, my friend, was gonna keep you free and clean. Now you wear your skin like iron, your breath's as hard as kerosene. Weren't your mama's only boy, but her favorite one, it seems. She began to cry when you said goodbye. You sank into your dream. Pancho was a bandit, boys. His horse was fast as polished steel. He wore his gun outside his pants for all the honest world to feel. Pancho met his match, you know, in the desert down in Mexico. Nobody heard his dying word. That's the way it goes. All the federales say they could have had him any day. They only let him slip away. Out of kindness, I suppose. Lefty, he can't sing the blues all night long like he used to. Dust the Pancho bit down south ended up in Lefty's mouth. Hey, they laid poor Pancho low. Lefty split for Ohio, where he got the bread to go. Well, there ain't nobody knows. All the federales say they could have had him any day. They only let him slip away. Out of kindness, I suppose. Poets tell how Pancho felt. Lefty's living in a cheap hotel. Desert's quiet, Cleveland's cold. So the story ends, we're told. Pancho needs your prayers, it's true, but save a few for Lefty too. He only did what he had to do. Now he's grown old. All the federales say they could have had him any day. They only let him slip away. Kindness, I suppose. A few gray federales say They could have had him any day. They only let him go so long. Out of kindness, I suppose. One left on the request list here. I have a story about this one too, oddly enough. This is a Grateful Dead song, and I happened to be there at the very first time the Grateful Dead ever played this song live. Happened to be my very first time seeing the Grateful Dead live, March 5th, 1972. Bringing me down, I'm running aground, blind in the light of the interstate car, passing me by, the buses and semis, plunging like stones from a slingshot on Mars. But I'm here by the road, bound to the load that I picked up in 10,000 cafes and bars. Alone with the rush of the drivers who won't pick me up. The highway, the moon, the clouds, and the stars. Black-throated wind keeps on pouring in with its words of a life where nothing is new. Our Mother American, American night, lost from the light. Whoa, I'm drowning in you. St. Louis, the city of blue. In the midst of a storm, I'd rather take it. Try to pretend it came to an end. 'Cause you weren't the woman I once thought I'd met. But I can't deny times have gone by when I never had doubts or thoughts of regret. And I was a man when all this began. I wouldn't think twice about being there, yeah. Black-throated wind keeps on pouring in with its words of a life where nothing is new. It's forced me to see you've done better by me, and better by me than I've done by you. what's to be found for racing around. You ain't gonna wherever you go, full of the blues and trying to lose. You ain't gonna learn what you don't wanna know. So I give you my eyes and all of their lies. Please help them to learn as well as to see. Capture a glance, yes, and make it dance. Looking at you, looking at me. Black-throated wind keeps on pouring in with its words of a lie that could almost be true. Our Mother America night, here comes the light. Oh, I'm turning around, that's what I'm gonna do. Oh, I'm turning around, that's what I'm gonna do. You've done better by me than I've done by you. Oh, and I'm drowning in you. So, when I tell you I have a head full of ideas that are driving me insane, I'm not exaggerating. Just got back from Hawaii doing a marathon fundraiser for KKCR, which was just a wonderful, wonderful trip in every way. And immediately hit the ground running and started working on the KPFA marathon, which is set for March 1st, Saturday, March 1st. Had a meeting today with Dee Brenner, who's going to do our T-shirt art. I've been doing follow-up on the KKCR Marathon. I got a call from Amelia Davis about the Jim Marshall book. We're going to be looking at the digital proofs of every page of the whole book next week, and I can't wait to see it. Heard some great stories about stuff that's going on. Looks like Lambert and I are going to Los Angeles next at the end of the month to participate, to document the Music Cares recognition of the Grateful Dead, Persons of the Year. What else is going on? We've had work being done in our kitchen. I can't even remember all the other stuff. Oh, well, I got my regular stuff. I got a radio show cranked out this morning. I got my 5 pieces for Sirius XM done. Finished reading a book that we're going to be interviewing the author. By the way, let me mention that. The book is called The Current Fantasy. It was written by Charlie Haas, a novelist and a friend of mine for many years, who also wrote a great article about the Grateful Dead, by the way, in New West magazine, probably around 1978. Charlie Haas. But the novel is quite wonderful. And it's set in the early 20th century, but the phrase current fantasy is from the book The Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test by Tom Wolfe, and it's sort of a book about the pranksters and stuff. And so it might tell you that there are some resonances beyond the early century. I should also mention that Saturday is Quarren Palooza, an online music festival that starts in the late morning Pacific time and goes for 10 or 11 hours. I don't know exactly how long, and I don't remember exactly what time it starts, but I'll be playing in the 4 o'clock-ish hour. But I would really love it if you'd visit the Quarren Palooza page on Facebook or go to Eventbrite and search for Quarren Palooza. It's half of Quarantine grafted onto half of Lollapalooza, so it's Quarren Palooza. And it happens this Saturday online. And I and a bunch of other singer-songwriters, I'm pretty sure my pal Dory Collar is going to be in on it, and a lot of new friends, musicians that I've come to admire greatly over the 5 years we've been doing this together. and John Ryback for putting it together. He puts a lot of work into it, and we give a lot of the proceeds of it to a cancer support organization called Bay Area Cancer Connections. That's this Saturday, and it will preclude my playing a live solo set of my own, because I'm going to be part of that instead, and I don't want to compete with myself. If just one dream could come true, I know what my dream would be. Last night I dreamed that Jacqueline was dreaming of me. If her voice was Irish whiskey and her blue eyes were the sea, whoa, what a drunken sailor I would surely be. For the pleasure of her kisses, I would dance across the sky. I sing this song the whole day long, 'cause she makes my heart fly. If her voice was Irish whiskey and her blue eyes were the sea, whoa, what a drunken sailor I would surely be. I put toothpaste in my beard and brush my teeth with shaving cream. I'm all confused and so bemused by love for Jacqueline. If her voice was Irish whiskey and her blue eyes were the sea, whoa, what a drunken sailor I would surely be. If just one dream could come true, I know what my dream would be. Last night I dreamed that Jacqueline was dreaming of me. If her voice was Irish whiskey and her blue eyes were the sea, whoa, what a drunken sailor I would surely be. If her voice and her blue eyes were the sea, whoa, what a drunken sailor I would surely be. Well, there's still more destructive machinery out there. Anyway, thanks for being part of this today, everybody. I will be back tomorrow, 4 o'clock California time. There's a thing, I'm doing a show tomorrow night, Hoot, this Berkeley thing organized by Joe Cristiano. This is an all original songs. There'll be, I don't know how many, probably a couple dozen performers, and each of us will play one of our original songs. I think you find it online. I forgot to look it up before I came on the air here today, but you can look it up at hoot!.com, I think it is. Or just search for Joe Cristiano and follow the links to his thing. It's really fun. I got to do one the other night that was also equally fun, of doing, each doing a Grateful Dead song, and I got to play with some other people. So I'll see you tomorrow, 4 o'clock, either way. And please visit perfectible.net and hit that tip jar if you can. Oh, I keep forgetting to change my overlay back. Perfectible.net is my online store and tip jar. Thank you, everybody, and I appreciate your support in every form it takes.